Hi, hello everybody. So nice to see you today. Our winter holidays are very soon, but I hope you are still ready to study and get ready for your ЗНО exam. And today is our webinar number 10, and we will talk about collocations. Also, we will discuss some writing tips today. But before we start talking about collocations, I'd like to revise something which we've been learning with you this year. And so now let's have a small test. Let's have small revision. So now look at the sentences and choose the correct option. As always, I'm waiting for your answers in the chat, and let's start with number 1. So read the sentence and choose the correct option here. And please put your ideas to the chat. Is it A, B, C, or D? My friend was tired after the 2 days of... Okay, so what are your ideas for number 1? Is it journey, travel, tour, or trip? And look very attentively. So think about the grammar, also about the meaning. And I'm waiting for your ideas. Okay, I can see some answers. I'm waiting for more ideas. So I can say A or C. And here, the correct answer is B, that is travel. So let's think why we choose here travel. So we know that travel is uncountable noun. Travel – незлічувальний іменник. And journey, tour, and trip, they are countable nouns. Journey, tour, and trip – злічувальні іменники. So if we have a countable noun in singular, then we need to use an article. So we need to use a or the before it. Тобто, якби нам підходив варіант A, C або D, нам потрібен був би ще артикль, оскільки це злічувальні іменники в однині. Оскільки артикля немає, so єдиний можливий варіант – це B, travel. So let's go to number 2. It's also about traveling, about transport. And here you've got car. So let's think what we can do with the car. Get off, get on, get into, or get out. So your ideas for number 2. So we have here the car. Okay, I can see different answers. Also, please put the number to the chat so that it's easier for me to understand which number is the answer for. And here the right answer, that is C, get into the car. So please remember that with the car and taxi, we can use get into or get out of. So here we don't, in D, we have just get out, but we need to use get out of. And also it's not logical in this sentence. So with car and with taxi, we can use get into or get out of. And we can use get on or get off when we speak about other types of transport. For example, train, bus, plane. So let's go to number 3. Let's remember which is the correct option: incalculated, uncalculated, discalculated, or miscalculated. Which sounds better? Okay, so what do we choose in number 3? So we're revising some prefixes with you. Yeah, so we have a verb calculate. So what will be the antonym to this? And again, different answers in the chat. And the correct answer is D, miscalculated. Неправильно порахувати, it's miscalculate. Okay, number 4. So look attentively at this word and also think about the spelling. And here we have got planned. So plan, it's a verb. So before verbs, we need to use an adverb. So let's choose the correct answer. And that will be C, carefully. Уважно. He carefully planned. Він уважно, детально все спланував. And please pay attention that when we have an adjective careful, прикметник careful, it has one letter L, з однією буквою L пишеться, but if it is an adverb carefully, then we have double L. So let's go on, some more revision for us. Number 6, so let's try to remember what we call a person who writes plays. So how we can say in English dramaturg? Is it playwright, playwriter, scriptwriter, or scriptwrite? So if it's about plays, so then it's not C and not D. And we choose, and the right answer here is A, playwright. So please be very, very careful when we speak about plays. So we say playwright, and pay attention to the spelling. It's not playwriter, it's playwright. Коли говоримо про драматурга, автора п'єс, ми говоримо playwright, і подивіться уважно на те, як пишеться це слово. But when we speak about scripts, and when we want to say scenarist, then we will say scriptwriter. Тобто playwright – драматург, scriptwriter – сценарист. Then in number 7, we've got 4 options, that is gazing, looking, watching, and peering. So they all are very, very similar, but there is a difference in the meaning. So let's try to choose the correct answer for number 7. So here also you can see the picture for number 7. Yeah, you can see the picture in the slide. So the screen was wet and it was difficult to see. So we need the verb which means вдивлятись. It is difficult, but you are trying to see something. Вдивлятись, хоча це важко. And that will be D, peering. So peer, it's to try to see something when it is difficult, when it is dark, for example, when you can't see something properly. Peer – саме вдивлятись, коли нам погано видно, коли ми намагаємось роздивитись щось, наприклад, в темряві, або, як в даному випадку, коли через дощ ми не бачимо точно, що відбувається. And gaze, it means just to look attentively at something, because you like it and look for a long time. Gaze – це витріщатись, дивитись на щось, що нам цікаво, що нам подобається протягом певного часу. Look – просто дивитись, подивитись на щось. Watch – дивитись на щось протягом певного часу з якоюсь метою. So let's take 8. So let's remember adjectives with ed and ing, and let's think. So in this sentence, do we describe feelings and emotions of a person, or do we speak about a situation? And in 8, it is B. Yes, you're right. Embarrassing, because we speak about a situation. So when we describe one's feelings or emotions, we use ed. It will be embarrassed. Закінчення ed використовуємо, коли говоримо про почуття, емоції. And we use ending ing when we describe a situation or a scene. І закінчення ing використовуємо, коли щось описуємо. Then number 9. So it's golf. What do we call the place where people play golf? Is it alley, course, ground, or also court? And in 9, that is course. Yes, we say golf course. So please remember that when we speak about golf, we use the word course. Golf course is the place where people play football, or golf, I'm sorry. And we use alley only to speak about bowling. Ground we can use like when we say a playground, and court, that's about tennis. So in 9, the correct answer is B. Now some grammar. Let's also revise some grammar with you, and let's look at the first one. So first of all, please pay attention to the time phrases. So here we've got since yesterday evening. And in the second part, in the second sentence, we have 500 kilometers so far. So in the first sentence, we're speaking about a situation which has started in the past, but it's not finished yet. And in the second sentence, we are talking about the result. And right you are. Yes, I can see a lot of correct answers. That is C. He has been driving and he has driven. В першому реченні дія почалась в минулому і ще триває. So we use continuous, present perfect continuous. And in the second sentence, we speak about the result. Good. Number 2. I have been liking, liked, been liked, or like. And we also have in the sentence, so it must be a perfect tense. But let's think which exactly. And we've got here all my life. So this one, number 2, is a little bit tricky, so please be very, very attentive. Yeah, and the correct answer is B, liked. Liked because we can't use here present perfect continuous. We can't use A because it's a state verb. So we remember that there are some state verbs in English which we can't use in continuous tenses. Like – це статичне дієслово, яке в continuous ми не використовуємо. So revise stative verbs and don't use them in continuous tenses. Якщо забули, повторіть статичні дієслова і пам'ятайте, що ми їх не вживаємо в continuous. Let's go to the next one, number 3. Is it lied, lie, lay, or laid? So it's about the past, yeah, because we say, why didn't she tell the truth? And then in the gap, we will use A, lied, yes. So also be attentive with this word, be careful, because lie can mean брехати, to tell not the truth, and also lie can mean лежати. But so when we speak about lie as брехати, then 3 forms will be lie, lied, lied, as you can see here. And when we speak about lie as лежати, then 3 forms will be lie, lay, lain. And number 4. Also pay attention to the grammar. We have did you. Yes, and in 4 we use did you used to. So that is the only option which is appropriate in terms of meaning here. Yeah, did you used to be afraid? And the translation will be чи в дитинстві ти боявся або боялась темряви. So we can also use would to speak about repeated actions in the past, but we can't use would with did. Also, is used to has another meaning. Yeah, is used to will mean бути звикшим до чогось, and get used to звикати до чогось. Але коли ми говоримо про дію, яка відбувалась раніше, наша минула звичка, яка зараз вже не є нашою звичкою, ми можемо використовувати конструкцію used to. Good. Some more grammar. And number 5. So it's all about the past, and we have after in the sentence. So let's think which action was before, which action was after. And I'm waiting for your ideas for number 5. And absolutely right, that is C. Left and had checked. So first of all, I had checked and then left the office. Дві дії в минулому, одна була раніше, одна після. So we use past perfect to speak about the first action. I had checked, and we use past simple to talk about the second action. Good. So number 6. In number 6, please pay attention to the form of this adjective. So it's more expensive. That is the comparative degree. Вищий ступень порівняння. So let's think how we can say набагато дорожчий. Is it pretty, very, fairly, or much? And it will be D, much more expensive. Набагато дорожчий. So we can use much before comparative adjectives. So we can say much more expensive, much bigger, much smaller. And we can use pretty, very, and fairly before the positive degree. І pretty, very, fairly можемо вживати з прикметниками, але в початковій формі. Не в вищому ступені порівняння, а в початковій формі. Like we can say very big, but much bigger. Number 7. It's about the future. We make some predictions, and these predictions are based on our own opinion. Because we have do you think or I hope. So predictions based on what we think, on our ideas. And it will be A. Yeah, the weather will be fine, and I hope it will be sunny. So when we speak about predictions based on our opinion, we use will. Для передбачень, що базуються на нашій власній думці, завжди використовуємо will. Тут у нас є слова think, hope, so only A is possible here. And the last one, number 8. Again, one more prediction here, but it is based on something that we can see right now. So we can see the traffic, and we make a prediction based on it. And it will be D. We're going to be late for school. Yeah, because it's a prediction based on what we see now. Передбачення, яке базується на тому, що ми зараз бачимо. Wonderful, so thank you. I can see that you remember a lot, and we're ready to go on, and we're ready to study a new topic today. Good. So please look at this picture and put your ideas to the chat. So what do you think? What she is doing in this picture? So your ideas. What is she doing? So we all do this in the morning, but what can we call it in English? What is she doing? So please your ideas. And we can see that make the bed. Yeah, she is making the bed. So make the bed, it's a collocation. It's a set phrase which we use like with the verb make. So today we will discuss some more state phrases, some more collocations which you need to remember. Make the bed – це сталий вираз. Ми можемо використати лише дієслово make в даному реченні, в даній фразі, і є певні сталі вирази, є певні фрази, сформовані в англійській мові, які нам потрібно знати. And today we will practice with that. So now look at these phrases and try to think which verb we can use here. So what can we do with a secret? How can we say in English зберігати секрет? So which verb can we use here? Keep. Yes, it will be to keep. Keep a secret. Keep a secret. Зберігати таємницю. Секрет. Number 2. Okay, I already see some correct answers for number 2 and even for number 3. Okay. So in number 2, we say to take a photo. So it's a very, very common mistake when we say make a photo, but it's not correct. So the correct option is to take a photo. Then in number 3, what can we do with the cold? Застудитись. So in number 3, we use catch, to catch a cold. Catch, застудитись. So number 4, yeah, you know, we've discussed it. So we say make, to make a bed. What about laundry? Laundry, it's прання, прати. So what verb can we use with laundry? And in number 5, we will say do, to do the laundry. Do the laundry, прати. And actually, we use do to speak about different chores, different things we need to do at home. For example, we say do the laundry, do the washing up, do the ironing, do the shopping. So we use do with some routines, some household chores. Then number 6, into trouble. Попасти в біду. And in number 6, we use get get into trouble. Get into trouble – попасти в неприємність. Then number 7. It's a very, very popular, very common phrase. So how can we say звертати увагу? Yes, number 6 is get. What about number 7? Звертати увагу. Yes, you're right, and that's pay, to pay attention. Pay attention, звертати увагу на щось. And the last one, a promise. And in number 8, so we mean не виконати обіцянку. So we can say to keep a promise. Це виконати те, що обіцяли, but how can we say не виконати обіцянку? So in 8 we mean like exactly не виконати. And we can also use here break. Keep a promise – це дотриматись, зробити те, що обіцяли, and break a promise – це не виконати обіцянку. Good. So let's look at this phrase. So to break a promise, we can see that it has two parts. So the first one is a verb break, дієслово, and the second one is a promise, that is a noun. So we will talk about some collocations which include a verb and a noun. Поговоримо про вирази, які якраз складаються з дієслова та іменника. Їх дуже-дуже багато в англійській мові, і ми подивимось на найпоширеніші з них сьогодні. So here you've got some words, and we will try to sort them, put them in the correct category. So let's think which phrases we can use with do, take, make, and have. So let's start with the shopping. Again, waiting for your ideas. What can we use with shopping? So do we say do, take, make, or have? Yes, do. Yeah, it will be do the shopping. And we use do to speak about different household chores, like do the shopping, do the laundry, do the ironing, do the washing. Exactly. Then a mistake. And we can make a mistake. So please remember, we never say do a mistake. Do a mistake, it's not wrong, it's a mistake to say like that. So we say make a mistake. Then rest. We can say to have a rest, yes, to have a rest, or to take a rest. Take a rest – перепочити, взяти перерву. Or we can also use have. Have також можливо. Fun. And we can have fun. So we use fun with have. Розважатись. Then a mess. Насмітити. Або зробити безлад. So what about a mess? And we say make a mess. Make a mess – насмітити. Then lunch, so it's easy. I'm sure you know that we have lunch, so we can use have with meals. We can say have lunch, have breakfast, have dinner. Then break. So break here, it means перерва. And what about a break? So we can take a break, or we can also have a break. З break також можна використати take a break, взяти перерву, піти на перерву. Or we can say have a break, мати перерву. Also possible. So then, a seat, зайняти місце, або сісти. Take a seat, right. Then homework. So I'm sure you know the answer. We say do your homework. Your best. Намагатись зробити щось якнайкраще. Please be attentive. We don't say make homework. We say only do your homework. So with homework, we can use only do. Okay, now your best. Yes, it will be do your best. Do your best – старатись на максимум зробити щось найкраще. A noise – шуміти. And with noise we say make, to make a noise. And the last one is sympathy. Sympathy – співпереживати. Співпереживати комусь. And the last one will be to have. To have sympathy. So it means to feel sorry for somebody. Співпереживати. Okay, now some practice. So in this text, you can see 6 mistakes. So let's try to find them and let's try to correct them. So let's start with the first sentence. In the morning, I made some work in the garden. So let's try to find the mistake in the first part of the sentence. In the morning, I made some work in the garden. So what is not correct here? So your ideas, what do we need to correct in the first part of the first sentence? Exactly. So we use not made, but we say did. I did some work. And there is a phrase to do some work. So with work, we use do. Good. Then I spent a rest. And that is also not right. Yeah, because we can say take a rest, or we can say have a rest. So have or take are possible here. We can say then I took a rest, or then I had a rest. Good, let's go on. Before going out, to have some shopping. So what is not right here? To have some shopping. And that is not have, that is obviously do, to do some shopping. So with shopping, we always use do. Or we can say to go shopping, to do shopping or to go shopping. Next. It was my sister's birthday and I wanted to do a special effort. And that is not to do, but to make an effort. Докладати зусиль. So never do, it's always to make an effort. Good. The next one. I gave a look. So what is the mistake here? I gave a look at a new Thai cookery book. I gave a look. Is it correct? Yeah, that is not give, but that is to have or to take a look. Подивитись, кинути оком на щось. So here we can say I had a look or I took a look. Then the next. So we've got 5 mistakes, so we need to find one more. It has some easy recipes, and I managed to do a good impression. What is not correct here? To do a good impression. Yes, and that is to make. We can say to make a good or to make a bad impression, and it means справити якесь враження, справити хороше чи погане враження. Yeah, so we use here make in this phrase. So wonderful. Some more phrases for us. So let's look at the phrases in the first column, and so let's think which verb we can use with all of them. So your ideas. What is the verb for the first column, for the first group of verbs? Not verbs, but nouns. So what can we do with a decision, an effort, an excuse? And that is make. Yeah, so we can say make an effort, докладати зусиль, make a decision, прийняти рішення, make an excuse, виправдовуватись, придумувати виправдовування. Okay, let's look at number 2. Your best, damage, harm, homework. And that is easy. We use here do. So we say do exercises. So pay attention to this phrase. Do someone a good turn or do someone a favor. Do someone a favor means допомогти комусь, надати якусь послугу. So that's also a very, very common phrase. To do someone a favor. Please remember it. Then in number 3, a break, difficulty, a feeling, a look, a problem. And that is to have. Yeah, so we have some phrases here. To have a look, подивитись. To have a try or to have a go. That is спробувати. And in number 4. And in number 4, yeah, we can use take. We can take a holiday, we can take a trip, we can take a train, bus, a risk, we can take a photo. Good. So you can take a photo of this slide or you can take a screenshot. Yeah, so you remember not make, but take a photo. And then we will go next and discuss something else. So now we are ready for the practice. And your ideas for number 1. So we've got here an effort. So what can we use here with an effort? And also, please be careful with grammar. Yeah, so you need to think which word to use and also in which form you need to use it. So put your answers to the chat. Please put the number of the sentence and also use the correct grammar form. Думаємо про слова, які ми тут маємо вжити, і граматичну форму. So in number 1 we can see is. Yeah, so we need to use here present continuous. And here making. Yeah, Michael is really making an effort. Він дійсно старається, він дійсно докладає зусиль. Okay. Number 2. Advantage. Yeah. Your ideas for number 2. What can we do with an advantage? And the meaning will be скористатись можливістю, використати щось на свою користь. And that is take. Yes, take advantage of. Please remember this phrase. It's a very common one and it's a very useful one. So it means скористатись можливістю, to take an advantage of something. In number 3, so what can we do with a choice? Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, and in number 3 we use make. Yes, to make a choice. Зробити вибір. Good. Number 4. A trip. Ми відправились в подорож. And it's about the past. So we have yesterday. So in number 4, we'll need to use past simple. And in number 4, we will use took. Yesterday we took a trip. Take a trip – відправитись в поїздку. Відправитись в подорож. Number 5. Yeah, that's easy. Do. Yes, you remember that we use do with some chores, like do the washing. Good. Damage. Number 6. What can we use with damage? Пошкодити. Завдати шкоди. And in 6, we use do. Yeah, so it will be did some damage. Please remember, do some damage, it means завдати шкоди. And we use do in this phrase. Do some damage. 7. A go, a try. Yeah, we've discussed it with you. Спробувати. Ти можеш спробувати. And in 7, we'll say you can have a go or you can have a try. Have a go or have a try, it means спробувати щось зробити. And number 8. So number 8 is interesting. It's a little bit tricky. But I'm waiting for your ideas for number 8. And that is an interesting phrase here. So it will be take. Take it is like. So take it is like, it means like not to like somebody. So take it is like to somebody. Хтось комусь не подобається. Also, that's an interesting phrase. So please remember it and you can use it in your writing. So take it is like to somebody. And some more practice for us. So you can see here 3 sentences. And 2 of them are correct and 1 is not correct. So please look at the sentences and put to the chat so which sentence is not correct, which sentence has a mistake. Ресурси для читання англійської в кінці вебінару я вам покажу деякі корисні посилання, і там будуть ресурси, які допоможуть підготуватися і до читання в тому числі. Трошечки пізніше я з вами поділюсь. So you say number 1 is wrong? No, number 1 is correct. And let's look. So number 1, it's a correct sentence. So we can say to have or to sit an exam. Number 3 is correct because we can say pass the exam. And number 2 is not logical here. So number 2 has a mistake. Because here we need to use another word. So let's look at the difference. We can say to pass an exam, but it means to get the result. So to get a good result in your exam. Pass an exam – це вже результат. Тобто ми здали іспит, ми здали на успішний бал. Ми пройшли цей іспит. А коли ми вже отримали результат і він успішний, тоді ми можемо сказати pass an exam. But when we are talking about the process, so we can say to do, to take or to sit an exam. Але коли ми говоримо про сам процес здавання іспиту, наприклад, в школі в нас буде тест. So then we use to do, we can say to do an exam, take an exam or sit an exam. Тобто pass an exam – це вже отримати позитивний результат, здати, пройти іспит. And to do, take or sit an exam – це сам процес здавання іспиту. Okay, so some more phrases. Today, a lot of phrases for you, but they're really useful. You can use them in your writing. So these phrases, they are actually very useful for your writing task because if you use them, then your vocabulary will be better. It will be more advanced, and it's important for your writing. And also, we have a lot of phrases, a lot of collocations in the use of English section. So today, we will have a lot of new phrases for us. And we can see here a lot of verbs on the top, and our task is to match them to the phrases. So in number 1, we have the page and the handle. So what can we do with the page and with the handle? It will mean перевернути сторінку або повернути ручку, відкрити ручку. Yes, that is turn. We can turn the page or we can turn the handle. Number 2, it's really easy. Yes, I'm sure you know that is catch. To catch a bus. So we can use catch with transport. We can catch a bus, catch a taxi, catch a train, or we can catch a cold. Number 3, a meeting or my hand. Проводити зустріч або тримати руку, тримати за руку. And in 3, okay, let's do them one by one because I can see the correct answer is for number 4 and 6. Okay, but let's do number 3 first. And 3, that is hold. Yes, we can say to have a meeting, or we can also use hold. We can say to hold a meeting. So if you say to hold a meeting, then it's more interesting. It shows that your vocabulary is good. Then number 4 is really, really easy. We say, do your homework, do the ironing. Good. Number 5, your time or one's temperature. How can we say in English поміряти температуру? And in number 5, we will use take. Take your time. So take your time means don't be in a hurry. So you have some time, you can take your time. Take your time, не поспішай. В тебе є ще час. So when we want to say не поспішай, we can say take your time. Or also we can take the temperature. Good. In number 6. Yeah, number 6, that is easy. We can tell lies or we can tell a story. Tell lies – збрехати, tell a story – розказати історію. Number 7, a message or a space. In number 6, yes, we can use make with a story, but we can't use make with lies. Yeah, we can say make a story, yes, it's okay. But with lies, we use tell lies. And in 7, yeah, we can say leave. Leave a message or leave a space. Leave a message – залишити повідомлення, leave a space – залишити вільне місце. Number 8, that is change. Yeah, we can change a light bulb, замінити лампочку. Or we can say change trains, when we have to travel by one train first, and then we need to change a train and catch another train to go to our destination. So we can say change trains, пересідати. Then 9. Yes, in 9 that is give advice or give an interview. Давати пораду, давати інтерв'ю. Good. Number 10. So in number 10, I'm sure you know the answer because we've discussed a secret with you today. So what can we do with a secret or with a diary? And in 10, yeah, it will be keep. Keep a secret, keep a diary. Keep a diary – вести щоденник. Keep a secret – зберігати таємницю. Then 11. So 11 is really, really easy. I'm sure you know that we use have a headache, have a stomachache, have an earache, and we can have a shower, we can have a bath. Number 12. So here we have homework, but it will mean не зробити домашнє завдання, а задати. Задати домашнє завдання, or the alarm – це будильник, поставити будильник. That will be set. Set some homework, so your teachers can set some homework for you, or you can set your alarm clock to wake up in the morning. Then 13. That is make progress or make a noise. And 14. So we've got only one option left. So in 14 that will be lead. So we can say to lead a quiet life, вести спокійний спосіб життя, or lead the world in – це бути найкращим в світі в чомусь. For example, we can say that, I don't know, France leads the world in tourism. Франція – лідер по туризму, for example. And so you know that there are a lot of collocations, a lot of phrases with do in English, but usually they are more informal. But when we have to write a formal letter, for example, a letter of application, then we can't use these phrases with do, but we need to use more formal phrases instead of them. So we will look at some examples with you. For example, we can say do a lecture, but it will be informal. So if you are writing a formal letter, then you can't say do a lecture. It's much, much better to say to give a lecture. It will have the same meaning, yeah, but it will be more formal. Also, we can say to deliver a lecture. Then we can say go to a lecture. It will be informal, but we can say to attend a lecture. That is, it has, again, the same meaning, but it's more formal. Or also you can say listen to a lecture. So now let's look at these phrases and let's try to find some more formal equivalents to them. some more formal synonyms. So we can say do an exam, that is informal, but when we want to use some more formal phrases, we can say to sit or to take an exam. That is much, much more formal, and it is much more appropriate for the formal style. So then we can say do a research or do a project, провести дослідження, зробити дослідження, або виконати проект. But if you want to use the formal style, then it's better to say to carry out or to conduct. To carry out a research or to carry out a project, or we can say to conduct. Якщо ми пишемо лист до друга, ми використовуємо неформальний варіант, це правильно, але якщо ми пишемо формальний лист, наприклад, letter of application, заявка на роботу або на навчання, тоді ми використовуємо більш формальні еквіваленти. Також в нас може попасти завдання, коли нам потрібно написати формальний лист. Then we can say do a course, or we can say to enroll on a course, or to take a course. Do a degree, or do a diploma, or we can say to study for a degree, or to take a degree. Study for a degree – це вчитись на певний навчальний ступінь, наприклад, на ступінь бакалавра. Study for a degree in engineering. Тобто людина хоче здобути навчальний ступінь з цієї кваліфікації. So instead of do a subject, we will use to study. We can say study history, or we can say take history. So take history, it means again that the person does this subject, the person studies the subject, but it's more formal. Do an essay or do an assignment. Написати есе або виконати завдання. And we can say to write an essay or to write an assignment. Assignment is завдання. And the lecture, we've discussed it. We can say to do a lecture or to do a talk, or we can say to give a lecture. Now you can also take a photo of the slide or take a screenshot, and we will go on and have some practice with you. Okay, let's practice. So before we practice, some more phrases for us. Also, we have some phrases with get. Some phrases with get are also more informal. We can say get an education, отримати освіту, that will be informal, but if we say receive an education, it will be formal. Receive an education, також отримати освіту. And let's look at some more examples. So we can say to get a degree, or to get a diploma, or we can say to obtain. Obtain, it also means to get. Or we can say to be awarded a diploma. So it also means to get it. Also to get a grade, отримати оцінку. So we can say to receive, or we can say that somebody is given a grade. So we can use passive here. Then get a qualification, отримати кваліфікацію. Also it can be obtain or acquire. Obtain a qualification or acquire a qualification. Then get an education, more formal will be to receive. And so some more examples before we practice. So look at the first two sentences. And so put your ideas to the chat. Which one is correct? I was getting crazy, or I was going crazy. So what do you think is the correct sentence? Which sounds better? Which sounds more natural? I was getting crazy, or I was going crazy. You can put to the chat, for example, A or B, or 1 or 2. Yes, right. I was going crazy. Then number 2. She went blind, or she got blind. Blind, it means сліпий. So what is the better option? And in number 2, we say she went blind. Go blind, it means осліпнути. And we don't say got blind or get blind. So let's look at some tips. We can use go, or we need to use go instead of the other verbs when we speak about the changes in people's personality, appearance, or physical abilities. Використовуємо go, коли ми говоримо про зміну в особистості людини, в зовнішності або фізичних можливостях. So we can say go mad, з'їхати з глузду, go bald, полисіти, go grey, посивіти, go blind, осліпнути, or go deaf, втратити слух. And also we can use go to show that some changes, so usually some negative changes, have happened suddenly. Також про раптові неочікувані зміни, коли говоримо, також можемо використовувати go в фразах. For example, we can say, his face went red. Він почервонів. So it happened fast and it happened unexpectedly. Or we can say that suddenly the sky went very dark. Небо стало дуже темним. So it was suddenly, it was unexpectedly, and it's a negative change. So we also use here go. So what do you think? Which word we can use for all these sentences? So look at all these sentences, look at the pictures, and think which one verb we can use for all of them. So there is one verb which we can use for all these gaps. And that will be turn. So we can use turn but not get when we speak about colors. So when we have a phrase and we have some information about the color, so very often we can use turn in these phrases. For example, we can say that the sky turned gold. Or we can say that the tomatoes turned red. Or her hair turned white. Or here we also can use go, yeah? Or we can use turn. So turn is a very, very common verb which we can use when we talk about colors. So some changes connected to colors. And also there are a lot of phrases with get and become. So we can use turn about colors. Коли говоримо про кольори, коли в нас є фрази пов'язані з кольором, дуже часто ми можемо використовувати turn. And also there are some phrases with get and become, and they can be used as synonyms. So in many, many collocations, we can use get or we can use become. But become is more formal. So, for example, we can say to become involved. Почати чимось займатись, залучитись до чогось. So we can also say get involved. But get involved, it's more informal. Become involved, that is more formal. And the same in the second example. So we can say get angry, get bored, get excited, or we can use become and it will be more formal. So we can say become angry, become bored, become excited. And also, please remember that we use become but not get with the following words. З наступними словами ми використовуємо завжди become, не можемо використати get. It will be a mistake. So these are some words as become extinct, зникнути, become popular or become unpopular, become homeless, or become famous. Please remember these phrases are always used with become. And now let's practice. So here we've got a story. So this story is nice. No mistakes here, but so it's rather informal. So let's try to look at the underlined phrases, underlined words, and let's try to use some more interesting words, some more interesting phrases. So let's try to make it a bit more formal. So let's look at the second sentence, and let's think how we can change did in the sentence to make it more formal. Yes, we can say take. So she took a degree or she received a degree. Yes, also possible. Or we can also say study. She studied for a degree. Good. Then the next one. She got her degree. So we can say she got her degree. Вона отримала ступень бакалавра. But we can say she obtained. Or we can say she was awarded. She was awarded her degree or she obtained her bachelor's degree. Отримала навчальний ступінь. So the next one. We can say do some research. Or we can say to carry out, or we can say to conduct some research. Провести дослідження. So possible to say conduct or carry out. Then do a course. So what is more formal? So we can say do a course or we can also say take a course. So take a course, that is more formal. Or we can say enroll on a course. Instead of do history, yes, you are right, we can use study history. So about assignments, завдання, we can say do, or we can say write assignments. Then let's look at this one. She's doing her school leaving exams. So we can say do exams, or what else is possible here? So here also we can use sitting. She is sitting her exams. Or we can say taken. Yes, taken is also good. She is taking her exams. Then she gets good enough grades. Отримати оцінки. Get grades. And we can say receive. Receive – отримувати оцінки. Get grades, informal. Receive grades, more formal. Then do sociology. So that is a subject. So we can say do. Or we can say here study. Then get a qualification. So we can get a qualification or we can obtain. Obtain also means get. So obtain a qualification. And the last one, so it's get education. But remember that we can also say receive. Receive or obtain. Good. So let's look at some phrases connected to relationships. So your ideas for number one. What can we say? How can we say in English залишатись на зв'язку? So I'm sure you've heard this phrase. That's a very common one. And we can say to keep in contact or to keep in touch. Залишатись на зв'язку. Then, любов з першого погляду. That will be love at first sight, right? Love at first sight. Then, so the next one means bring up children. Ростити дітей, виховувати дітей. Or we can also use here raise children. And so you can see here some more phrases connected to relationships and family. So you can look them through. You can also take a screenshot. So some more examples here. And let's look at the last one. So good company. So good company. So it has two words. It means to be a pleasant person. And so it has two parts. That is an adjective plus a noun. So let's look at some examples of some phrases which require to use an adjective and a noun. Декілька прикладів фраз, в яких ми можемо використати прикметник та іменник. So let's look at the first one. How can we say in English сильний дощ? So your idea, сильний дощ. And that will be heavy. Yeah, so we say here heavy rain. Let's look at number 2 and let's think how to say яскраве сонце. And that will be strong. So we say strong sun, or we can say bright. Strong or bright sun. Then in number 3, yeah, we can say it's raining cats and dogs. It's a little bit old-fashioned, but yeah, also possible. Number 3, snow. Сильный снег. And it also can be heavy snow. And about wind, we can say strong wind. So we use heavy when we speak about rain or snow, or we can use strong to speak about sun or to speak about wind. And let's match some more phrases. So some more phrases in which we have an adjective and a noun. So what about heavy? Yeah, okay, you can see some examples of soft drinks here. And heavy, so we can use traffic. We can say heavy traffic, so it means дуже завантажений дорожній рух. So it can be used with traffic. Then valid. So valid, that is, it can be G, so it's passport. Your passport can be valid or unvalid. Дійсний паспорт або недійсний. High. And we can use high with quality. High quality – висока якість, хороша якість. But in English, we don't say good quality, we say high quality. Then business. And that is E, business trip. It means відрядження. Then number 5, that is instant. And it can be instant coffee. So instant coffee, it means розчинна кава. Then permanent. Permanent, it's постійний. And E, not E. So what about number 6? What can be permanent? And it can be permanent job. Постійна робота. Then with soft, yeah, you can see the answer. We can say soft drinks. And we can say fair when we talk about hair. So fair hair. That is світле волосся. Good. And very quickly, let's look at some more examples, so some more phrases, and you will be free for today. So we've got here 2 texts. So look them through and please put your ideas to the chat. Which text is better? So which one looks better? So they are very similar. They have the same information. But B sounds more interesting. That sounds like more emotional because we have here some collocations of adverbs and adjectives. So for example, we can say highly intelligent. It means very intelligent. We can say extremely tall. Also, it means very tall or very high. We can say simply afraid. So when we use collocations of adverbs plus adjectives, we make our text or our speech more emotional or more interesting. And so some examples for you. You can also take a screenshot. You can take a photo of them. So let's look at some of them. So we can use such words as absolutely, utterly. So they mean really. And we can use them with such adjectives as amazed, convinced, beautiful, fantastic. Also, we can use bitterly. And we use bitterly in negative phrases. So it can be bitterly disappointed. Гірко розчарований. Yeah, so bitterly it means гірко. Also, for example, deeply. Deeply глибоко. So we can say deeply shocked, deeply unhappy, deeply worried. So usually we also use it, we can use it mainly with negative phrases, but also it's possible to make some positive phrases with deeply. For example, deeply impressed. сильно вражений. Also, it's a nice phrase, like highly unlikely. So it means that you don't believe that something will happen. We can use strongly. And we can also use such words as very, extremely, incredibly, terribly, awfully, fairly, a bit, quite, or really when we speak about, for example, feelings, emotions, and when we are describing something. So take a photo, take a screenshot, and look through these phrases and try to use these collocations when you do your writing, because it will make your vocabulary better. So it will be more advanced, and you will get better points for this criterion for vocabulary. Okay, good. So we will skip some more phrases here. I will stop at this slide so you can take a photo of some more phrases. As we don't have much time for them, we won't discuss them, but you can take a photo and you can look them through. What is fully aware? Fully aware, it means дуже добре знати щось. Наприклад, I'm fully aware of this danger. Я знаю про цю небезпеку. Тобто я повністю усвідомлюю її. So take a photo of some more phrases. And now, so I promised to share some useful links with you. So here you can see two QR codes, so you can scan them. And you will find some useful resources. You can see some resources for B2 level and for B1. And if you scan them, so you will find a lot of practice. So you will find some practice with the vocabulary. And if you go to the home page of this website, you will see also some tasks to practice reading, listening, and writing. Якщо ви відскануєте ці коди, ви побачите, по-перше, це буде тренажер, за допомогою якого ви можете потренуватись, вивчити нові фрази, потренуватись їх використовувати. Також, якщо ви перейдете на головну сторінку цих сайтів, ви зможете знайти вправи на практику читання, слухання, і також є тренажер письма. So, that is very useful to get ready. І питання, can I use all this vocabulary in an informal letter? Деякі з цих фраз можна використати в informal letter. Наприклад, фрази з do, get. Є фрази, які усе ж таки більш формальні. Якщо ми їх використаємо в informal letter, то це не дуже буде відповідати критерію формату. Тому такі фрази, як, наприклад, такі слова, як obtain, require, acquire, ми зазвичай не використовуємо в неформальних листах, але всі інші фрази можна, так, звісно. So, and now some tricky questions to you. So, is it possible to say do any mistakes? Yes or no? Can you do mistakes? So, number one, yes or no? And so, of course, no, because we make mistakes, we never do them. So, number two, can you get stuck in heavy traffic or in heavy rain? So, is it correct to say heavy traffic or heavy rain? And that is yes, yeah, so heavy traffic or heavy rain, сильный дождь. We can also say heavy snow, but we say strong wind and strong sun. Number three, can get always be used instead of go? And no, so you remember there are some phrases in which we need to use go. For example, when we speak about some changes in one's personality, appearance, or some sudden changes, some unexpected changes. Okay, one more phrase. By and large, that means in general. Ще одна класна фраза. By and large означає в цілому. And number five. Is it possible to take an exam with flying colors? Чи коректним є цей вираз? To take an exam with flying colors. And that is no, because when we say with flying colors, so we're speaking about the result. With flying colors мається на увазі на відмінно. Тому в такому випадку нам потрібно використати pass, to pass an exam with flying colors, because we already know the result. Тому що тут ми говоримо вже про результат. А якщо ми говоримо про процес здавання іспиту, we can say to take an exam, to sit an exam, or also to do an exam. And thank you so much for your work today. I wish you to have a good winter holidays, and so we'll meet again after New Year. So happy New Year, good holidays, and see you. Goodbye.